A Kamado Joe Classic II retails for around $1,500 new. Used, you might pay anywhere from $500 to $1,000, depending on the condition. A used Kamado Joe in good condition is one of the best buys in backyard cooking. You can get a quality ceramic grill that will last for years at a fraction of the price of a new grill. But if you walk into a seller's backyard without knowing what to look for, you could be buying somebody else's problem. I'm Dave, and this is Austin's Kamado Joe Masterclass. I've been cooking on Kamado Joes for years. I've repaired them, replaced parts, dealt with warranty claims, and I know exactly what fails on these grills over time. I know people who have saved a lot of money buying used, and I know people who spent hundreds because they didn't know what to inspect. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to look for. Buying a used Kamado Joe is a smart decision. The cooking performance doesn't change with age. The ceramic on these grills is nearly indestructible under normal use, and Kamado Joe still manufactures replacement parts for every component we're going to discuss today. We're going to take a close look at the key components of the Kamado Joe Classic II. Take a flashlight and some disposable gloves with you when you're considering buying a used Kamado Joe. Then pull up this video on your phone. Go through the video step by step while you're standing there and walk through it with me. Before you inspect the grill, identify which model you're looking at. Facebook Marketplace listings are often wrong. The Classic I uses the original Hinge system and the older cast iron daisy wheel on top. The Classic II added the airlift hinge, the control tower top vent, and the wire mesh fiberglass gasket. The Classic III added the taller cart, usually included the slow roller, and has an elongated base. Those differences can easily change the value of the grill by several $100s. Also, understand the warranty situation up front. Kamado Joe's limited lifetime warranty generally applies only to the original purchaser with proof of purchase. Today we're going to cover 12 inspection points, a few bonus checks, and at the end we'll talk about what you can do to negotiate a better price. Let's get started. The ceramic is the foundation of the entire grill. It's where we start because ceramic damage is the one thing that can turn a great deal into a very expensive mistake. Begin on the outside. Was the grill covered? If so, that's a good sign, especially if it's a vented Kamado Joe cover rather than a tarp that's been trapping moisture. Next, run your hand slowly along the dome and the base. You're feeling for chips and cracks. Small surface chips in the glaze are cosmetic and do not affect cooking performance. You're looking for structural cracks, deep fractures that run through the ceramic body, not just the outer glaze. Any crack wide enough to catch your fingernail is a potential problem. Now open the lid and look at the interior of the dome. Look up around the vent opening and along the back wall where the hinge hardware makes contact with the ceramic. The interior dome surface takes significant radiant heat from below, and stress fractures along this surface are common. Check it thoroughly. Also, check for mold. I wouldn't automatically walk away from a moldy grill. Mold is surprisingly common on ceramic cookers that have been sitting unused in humid climates, especially if they've been stored with the vents closed. A high temperature burn will usually take care of it. What the mold does tell me is that the grill has probably been neglected, and neglected grills tend to have multiple issues. Next, inspect the interior of the base near the hinge. Cracks in this area are serious structural issues and require a new base. Now we get to the firebox. It should be disassembled, removed, and inspected. If the seller won't allow you to do this, walk away. Take out the cooking grates and the heat deflector plates. Then remove the metal retaining ring and lift the firebox sections out. Set the pieces down carefully on a flat surface. Also remove the firebox base. You're looking for two things. First, examine the metal ring. Set it on a flat surface. If it rocks or if you can see visible warping, it will not seat properly. The ring will need to be replaced. Firebox ring cost $39. Next, inspect the firebox panels. Every panel should be present and intact. A cracked panel is easy to replace. Firebox panels cost $25 each. Finally, inspect the firebox base. If it's cracked, it should be replaced. Cost $38. Let's keep moving. We're heading to the top of the grill. The control tower is the top vent assembly on the Kamado Joe Classic II and Classic III, one of the things that sets the Kamado Joe apart from the competition, and a component that can develop real issues on a grill that's seen heavy use. First, rotate the control tower through its full range of motion. It should move smoothly. A control tower that is stiff is a problem. A stiff control tower compromises your ability to fine-tune the temperature, which is the whole point of the control tower. Next, pull the top cap straight off the control tower. Look at the underside of the cap and the interior of the vent housing. Look for chipped paint and corroded aluminum. Pitting and heavy corrosion that interferes with the smooth operation of the vent assembly means it needs to be replaced. Cost, $75. Now lift off the remaining control tower assembly and inspect the ceramic that it sits on. Look for chips and cracks hiding under the top vent. The gasket is the fiberglass seal that runs along the rim of the dome and the base. It creates the airtight seal that makes temperature control in the Kamado Joe possible. A badly worn gasket is one of the most common issues on a used grill, and it will impact your ability to hold low and slow temperatures. Run your fingers around the full perimeter of the gasket on both the dome side and the base side. Check for 4 things. Is there any section loose or pulling up from the ceramic? Is the gasket compressed flat in any area? Is it torn or missing sections anywhere? And does the gasket show significant grease saturation that has caused sections to harden or separate? A gasket that is pulling up, torn, or missing sections is a problem and needs to be replaced. Replacing a gasket takes about an hour. Cost, $113. At the end of this video, check out my new cookbook, The Texas Backyard Kitchen. Complete meals from fire to table. It's part barbecue book for the Kamado Joe and part go-to cookbook for every other day of the week. A link is in the description and pinned comment. Now close the lid and step back. Look at the grill from the side and the front. The dome and base should meet evenly with no visible gap running around the perimeter. An uneven gap where one side sits properly and the other side does not indicates that the bands have shifted or the hinge has been improperly adjusted at some point. This is a correctable issue, but it's important to know going in. Next, close the lid. Does the latch catch easily with light pressure, or do you have to push the lid down to get the latch to engage? Does the latch release easily when the lever is pressed? If not, it most likely means the latch is out of alignment. It's a straightforward fix, but it suggests the grill has not been properly maintained. The air lift hinge is one of the most important components of the grill. It's the counterbalance system built into the Kamado Joe Classic II and III that makes the 50-pound ceramic dome lift with 2 fingers and hold in any position without slamming. Open the lid to roughly 45 degrees and let go. It should hold there without moving. Open it all the way and let go. Same thing. If the lid drifts downward when you release it, or if it drops under its own weight, the counterbalance spring has weakened and needs to be adjusted. If the lid feels heavy, the spring may have failed completely. An airlift hinge is easy to adjust, but it's a big deal to replace. A failed airlift hinge is a near deal breaker on a Kamado Joe Classic II. Consider whether the cost of the replacement plus the effort it will take to install it is worth it. Cost, $163. Now look at the dome thermometer. The stock Kamado Joe thermometer gives you an approximate temperature inside the dome. It's not a precision instrument even when new. On a used grill, check the face of the gauge for moisture or condensation inside the glass. If the seal has failed and moisture has gotten in, the gauge will be inaccurate. My advice, plan to replace the thermometer regardless of what you see. It takes a few minutes to replace, but it will need to be calibrated first. Cost, $25. Remove the cooking grates and examine them. Kamado Joe ships the Classic II and Classic III with stainless steel grates. Cast iron grates are available as an accessory. Stainless steel grates should show no significant rust. Heat discoloration is expected. Cast iron grates should be well seasoned, meaning a uniform, slightly oily black surface. Surface orange rust on cast iron can be cleaned and reseasoned, but heavy rust that has pitted the surface is a food safety issue. If the grates are compromised, factor in the replacement cost. Stainless steel grates cost $50, and a set of half-moon cast iron grates cost $160. If the grill comes with a cart, check the wheels. Unlock the wheels and roll the grill around. The wheels should move smoothly without binding. Then test the locking casters. Engage the lock on each wheel and try to roll the grill again. A wheel that rolls when it's supposed to be locked is a problem, especially on any deck or patio that is not perfectly level. Cost per wheel, $25. Now fold down the side shelves and inspect them. Look for peeling paint and corrosion, particularly along the folded edges and at the hinge points where the table connects to the cart. Examine the tool hooks on both tables. Every hook should be present and intact. Cost for a set of side shelves, $25. Ask the seller what tools come with the grill. A standard Kamado Joe Classic package should include a grate gripper and an ash tool at minimum. The ash tool replacement and gripper, $25 each. Next, check the dome handle. It should be solid with no visible cracks, and it should not move independently when you grip and pull. A handle that wobbles at the mounting point is easy to tighten, but is one more indicator of deferred maintenance. New handle cost, $32. There are 4 more things you should check before you make an offer. Bands. The top and bottom bands hold the dome and base together and attach to the hinge. Look for cracks or significant corrosion in the metal, particularly around the hinge attachment points. A cracked band is a structural issue. Replacement bands cost $100. Bottom draft vent. Slide the draft door back and forth. It should move smoothly without binding. A warped or stuck draft door needs to be replaced. Bottom draft door vent cost $38. Heat deflector plates. If the grill comes with the full divide and conquer system, check that both deflector plates are present and intact. Ceramic deflectors can crack over time. Cost per set of 2 heat deflector plates, $80. Finally, the cart frame. Light rust is not unusual on an older grill. However, a frame with rust that has compromised the structural integrity of the cart legs is a safety concern and must be replaced. Cart frame cost, $163. If you've watched this far, you are already ahead of 95% of Facebook Marketplace buyers. Most people show up, look inside, and hope for the best. You will know exactly what you're looking at, what it's worth, and when it's time to walk away. Use what you find as leverage. If the Firebox has a cracked panel, tell the seller directly. If they can come down 50, hey, you got a deal. If you find a cracked dome or a failed airlift hinge and the seller is not willing to adjust the price, walk away. You'll find another one. These grills come up for sale frequently. Now I want to hear from you. Was this video helpful? What did you find when you inspected your used Kamado Joe? Did you walk away or did you negotiate your way into a good deal? Drop that into the comments. I read every one. Also, I invite you to check out my Kamado Joe Owner's Handbook. This is a 100-plus page book that I've written that covers everything you need to know about operating the Kamado Joe. It includes setup, seasoning, temperature control, troubleshooting, maintenance, and a lot of pro tips and techniques. And if you know someone shopping for a used Kamado Joe, share this video with them. Hey, if you liked the video, let me know, and please subscribe and turn on notifications. And watch my Kamado Joe 101 playlist right now.